Hello and welcome to a Blackwood Engage layout, something a little bit different this time around. I have discovered I've got a problem with these wagons here. These are EFE Rail JIA wagons, and I have got 8 of these. Now they have run round the upper layout without any problem for probably the past couple of years. But I had occasion to try and run the rake of 8 wagons up from the lower fiddle yard, and I was actually using the DAPL class 66 that I had, and it basically would not pull the 8 wagons up the helix. It failed on the very first level of the helix. I did then swap over with the Revolution Trains class 66, and it did pull all 8 wagons up the helix. It wasn't struggling, but it was having to pull them up at full power to get them to the top. So a little bit mystified, because if I put this wagon here onto straight track, it runs absolutely beautifully. However, what I've discovered is that on curved track, especially where the curve is a bit tighter, then the wagon doesn't actually roll freely. It actually binds up. If I try and push it, bearing this is on the helix, and obviously if it was free running, it should actually be running away. When I give it a push, it should be running right the way down the helix, but as you can see, it's not running freely. So there's obviously something wrong, and I've been working on all the other 7 wagons, and I have discovered what it is, and there's a little bit of modification required underneath the wagon to stop these bogies from binding and make it more free running when it's going up or down on tighter curves. So I'll take you over to my workbench, and I'll show you what I've actually been doing to get these wagons running properly and allowing them to go up the helix. Right, I've brought the wagon onto my temporary workbench. So the first thing we need to actually do is to remove the bogies. Now the bogies are held in by a tiny screw, and there's a very tiny metal washer just at the back of it. Now you'll need a jeweler's screwdriver to remove the screws. Sometimes the screws actually don't unscrew, they just turn round. This one that's actually what's happened to this one. I'd started to try and remove it. If that happens, then a small pair of either pliers or tweezers, and you can actually get a hold of the screw, and you can actually turn the screw with the tweezers, and eventually, as you can see, the screw does actually come out, and the washer comes out as well. So very important not to lose these, so put those to one side, and then the bogie itself just obviously comes off, and that can go to one side. Now the problem is, if I try and bring this up to the camera, and I'll see if I can actually zoom in a little bit, hopefully you can see that a bit clearer. Now you'll see there are some indentations on the underside of the chassis, and that's obviously to allow the wheels not to fill the underneath of the chassis. The problem is that there's this extra bit of plastic that you can see here. You'll see there's like 2 bits of plastic. You'll see a line running up the middle of them, and it's this inside bit of plastic. Basically the wheels are fouling on that when they go round a tight curve, and that's what's binding the wheels. So to fix it, what we need to do is actually remove a small portion of that, and to do that you can do one of 2 methods. You can be a thrill seeker and use a craft knife, but be warned, you better have plasters in case the craft knife slips. Or the other method is to use a Dremel type tool, and that's what I have used. Right, I've got my Dremel here. Well, it's not actually a Dremel, it's actually a Rotocraft, which is out of Hobbycraft, but it's the same idea as a Dremel, and I've fitted this small device on the end of it, which is really just a kind of almost like a file. So let's give it a go and see whether or not I can actually film me actually doing this. It will be noisy, so I apologise for that in advance. Right, I have started to file this down. I'll just blow this away. There's a little bit of chaff there, it needs just to be flicked off. There we go. At the back you'll see the two lines still going along there, but this front bit I have actually started to remove the inner piece of plastic. Okay. If you turn the wagon over and you look at it from a front perspective, you can't see anything. There's no damage to the actual wagon itself. Off camera, I'll finish these off, and then once they're finished off, all I'm going to do is pop the bogies back on, and then we'll take it back to the helix and we'll see how it runs. So I have completed doing all the filing, put the bogies back on, and I've put the wagon back up on the top level of the helix. Now the last time when the wagon was moving, when I pushed it, it actually stopped just round about here. I can actually feel that it is a lot freer, so the easiest way is for me to give a push to see how quickly this goes down the helix. So here goes. And as you can see, it's actually speeding up, and there is no binding on that at all. That's just been given a very, very gentle push at the top. Not bad, even if I say so myself. Now, as I said at the start of this clip, what prompted me to do this work was this Class 66 could not pull these 8 wagons up the helix. The engine actually stopped just roughly where it is now, but I've now treated all 8 wagons. I've got the Class 66 on, and this has only got 50% power on the controller, so it's not even at full power. So as you can see, it is not slipping. It is being able to pull these wagons up the helix without any issue at all, and it may mean, I think I've got 8 of these. I would probably maybe want to get another couple because of this very lightweight Class 66, because the DAPL 66 only weighs in at around 80 odd grams, whereas the Farish is just under 100 and the Revolution 66s are just over 100 grams. So with a much heavier loco, then I could probably actually get quite a number of extra wagons added onto this train. But as you can see, it is climbing its way up the helix. There is no slipping at all, and the locomotive has only got half power applied to it. So we'll just let it come right up. It's nearly up at the top, and then we can just watch it go along the layout and back down the other side. There is something very therapeutic about watching a locomotive climb a helix. I don't know what it is, but there is something. So we are not far off the top now. We've just got one more revolution and then the train will be out onto the scenic section of the layout. So I'll come back up here as it emerges onto the top of the helix, and it will obviously pop out in the tunnel. And there it is, disappearing back down the other helix and out of sight. So as the 66 brings that train load of wagons back down to the lower helix, I hope you found that video of some use and was of some interest to you all, and thanks for watching, and I will catch you very, very soon when I next give an update on Blackwood, the Engage layout. Thanks for watching, bye for now.